Hey Math 6. Today we're going to go over our last section of notes, which is I can solve ratio problems by using a table to graph on the coordinate plane. So that means we're just making tables and then we're graphing them. So first one says, for every 4 adults at the beach one afternoon, there were 3 children. How many children were at the beach if there were 8, 12, 16, or 20 adults? So we start off with our ratio, 4 adults to 2 children. I'm sorry, 4 adults to 3 children. Then it says how many children were at the beach if there were 8 adults, 12 adults, 16, or 20. So let's take a look. If the ratio is 4 to 3, 4 times 2 is 8. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then 4 times 3 is 12. So 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. So 3 times 4 is 12. And then finally 4 times 5 is 20. So 3 times 5 is 15. So now that we've filled out our table, we need to graph. So we see that it has number of adults on the bottom as our x-axis and the number of children on the left as our y-axis. So let's graph this. I have 4 adults, so we can go over 4. And then 3 children. So 3 is going to be between 4 and 2. So over 4, up 3. And then I don't want that line on there. So I am going to just put the dot right there. Over 4, up 3. And then I have over 8, up 6. Put a dot. 12 adults to 9 children. So that's going to be right there between, nope, that's right. 12, and then 9 is between 10 and 8. And then 16, 12. And then 20, over 20, up 15. Oops. So that makes a straight line through the graph. Now, one way I would know that I messed up, if it's supposed to be a proportional graph, it's going to be a straight line, and it's going to start down here at 0, 0. All right, let's take a look at the next one. It says, Ellen is shopping for supplies at Jake's party store. Balloons are priced at $3 for $2. Make a table to show how much Ellen will spend to buy 3, 6, or 12 balloons. Then plot the pairs of values in a coordinate graph and use the graph to find the cost of 18. Ooh, they added on a little extra. All right, so number of balloons is 3. Cost in dollars is 2. So we want to know how much is she going to spend for 3, 6, or 12. Oops. Well, we already have 3, 6, 12, and then let's just throw on 18. So let's figure out what that's going to be. So 3 times 2 is 6. So that means 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. So 2 times 4 is 8. Then I have 3 times 6 is 18. So 2 times 6 is 12. All right, so let's graph that. Number of balloons is on bottom. That's my X. So we can see right there. And then cost in dollars is Y. That means it's the up. So over 3 up 2. Put a dot right there. So 3 balloons cost $2. 6 balloons is $4. 12 balloons is $8. And then 18 balloons is $12. So I'm going to connect the dots starting at 0. And it's a straight line, so I've done it right. So now it says find the cost of 18 balloons. So they're also wanting us to tell them that $12 would be the cost of 18 balloons. All right, let's take a look at the next page. Oh, nope, sorry, one more, just joking. It says, model with math. Plot the equivalent ratios 3, 4, 6, 8, and 9, 12 on the graph. Use the graph to find the number of nonfiction books purchased if 10 fiction books are purchased. So we have fiction books down on the bottom, nonfiction books on the y-axis. So let's graph 3, 4. So over 3 up 4. 6, 8 would be over 6 up 8. 9, 12 would be over 9 up 12. And then what if there were 10 fiction books? So at 10 fiction books, it looks like it's going to be about right here. Does that make sense? So we go up 6 over 8. So it looks like we're going up. Let's see. If we drew a line, looks like it would be 14. Oh, actually, no, 13. We're going to go with 13. Oh. I am not sure what I just did there. All right, next page. Every weekend, Camilla teaches ice skating lessons at a nearby ice rink. She earns $12 for a 30-minute lesson. So we have minutes taught. She makes 30 minutes taught. She makes $12. So for 60 minutes, let's see, I think that would double it, so it's 24. At 90 minutes, that would triple it, so it's 36. And 120, that would be 30 times 4, so $48. So let's graph that. We have minutes taught on bottom, so that's our X, and money is our Y. Let's go over to 30 and up 12. Over to 60 means we go up to 24. 90, we go up to 36. And 120, we go up to 48. So let's connect the dots to make a straight line. And all it said to do was to complete the table. So we have done that. We complete the table and we graphed it. And I see a straight line that passes through the origin. All right, so the next two, it looks like we get to choose our own adventure. So I have 5 to 2. So what they did so far was they did 5 times 5 is 25, and 2 times 5 is 10. So let's see, I might do times 8. So if I do times 8, 5 times 8 would be 40, and 2 times 8 would be 16. Now I could pick any numbers, but I kind of picked 40 because I knew I could do 5 times 8, and that would get me right here. So let's graph these. 5, 2 would be over 5 up 2. 25, 10 would be over 25 and then up 10. So I have to be careful because the 25 is between the 20 and 30 and the 10 is between the 12 and 8. And then my last dot is now going to be at 40, 16. So now let's connect the dots. Straight line through the origin, so I know I have a proportional graph. All right, next one. I have 2, 3, 4, 6. Let's see. I might make the next one 12. I could do any number, but I kind of want it to have a nice number over here on the far side, because so far I have 2, 3, which would be here, and 4, 6, which would be here. So if I do 12, 2 times 6 is 12. So 3 times 12 would be, or sorry, 3 times 6 would be 18. So over 12, up 18 would put me up here. I don't like this graph. They have the intervals weird. All right, so hang on. So that'd be 16. So we have 16, so that's 14. So that would be 18. All right, here we go. 18 is right here. That's better. It's always very important to look at your intervals. So 12, 18. It's just so much easier when it's by 1. All right, straight line through the origin, we're good. All right, model with math. A bread recipe calls for 4 cups of white flour for every 5 cups of whole wheat flour. Complete the table to show how many cups of whole wheat flour are needed to mix with 16 cups of white flour. So I'm going to do my detective work. 4 times 2 is 8. So that means for 8, there would be 10 cups of whole wheat flour. 4 times 3 is 12. So 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times 4 is 16, so that would make this 20. So let's graph it. White flour is on the bottom, so it's our X. Wheat flour is on the side. So over 4, up 5. And I need to check my intervals. So this would be 6, and this would be 10. So that means that over 4, up 5 would be between the 4 and the 6. Over 8, up 10. And I'm going to mark that one as 14, and that would be 18. All right, 12, 15. So 15 would be between 14 and 16. And then 16, 20. Oh gosh, that's all the way at the top. All right, connect my dots. I do have a straight line through the origin. So it says how many with 16 cups of white flour? That would be 20 cups of whole wheat. Last one. Last one on the last page. A student runs 2 minutes for every 10 minutes she walks. So we've got 2 running minutes and then 10 walking minutes. Complete the table. So far we have 2:10. It's right there. 4:20. It's right there. So we want to do 6 and say 2 times 3 is 6. So 10 times 3 is 30. 6:30. And then they're asking, how long would the student walk if she runs for 7 minutes? So let's draw our line and see. Looks like it's going up. 8 would be right here. So it looks like it crosses in the middle. And that spot where it crosses in the middle looks like it would be between 30 and 40. So we're going to say 35 minutes of walking. 35 minutes.